Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the second show of the day. It is the Newcastle United versus Leicester City match preview with myself, Stato, and Billy Bob Coleman. And it is a huge game. It's a huge game. There's no doubt about it. After Saturday's events at Hillsborough, going out of the FA Cup, some people have said it's a good thing. Some people are still sick as pigs in muck. But, you know, it is what it is. It's water under the bridge now. It's gone. We have to concentrate on what is available for the rest of the season, and that is fighting for a top four position, and also the Carabao Cup, which tomorrow night we have an opportunity to reach the semi-finals. The semi-finals, of course, are two-leg, so there is a home and away to be played in the semi-finals, but Wembley is at stake, and it would be absolutely fantastic to see Newcastle United get to Wembley in a cup final. The Mackhams have done it the last few years. You know, I mean, I know it's the Pizza Cup and that they were in, but they did make the Carabao not so long ago, of course, against Manchester City. We want to be there. We want to be in a final. We want to be challenging for trophies, and that's where we're heading. I'll just deal with this, Juliet. I know I've read your email. I have checked the memberships. There is nothing on there to say you're a member. So I've emailed YouTube support. So we'll just wait for something to come back from them. But I have a feeling that's not the Toon review that you've actually signed up for. It's somebody else. But YouTube will confirm that for me, and I'll let you know as soon as I hear back from them. Congo Fox says, I know it's well early, but Bruce saying he recommended Howe is laughable. I swear he called him the fella that got the Bournemouth relegated. What an idiot. Yeah, on that podcast he did with Neil Warnock, Steve Bruce said that he recommended Howe to Newcastle United. I mean, it is what it is.
More's the point. More Cash probably said to him, I want you to finish as high up the table as you can. And Steve Bruce said, how?
Yeah, that's probably more like it, Billy. Yeah, absolutely. Aaron Robson says DePaul at Atletico Madrid's been mentioned. I haven't seen anything of that. I don't know who said that. Tom says, evening, everyone. The football world breathes a sigh of relief if Steve Bruce officially retires. Yes.
Is he retired, though? Is he really going to retire?
Well, I mean, it's interesting because, you know, he was linked with Norwich only a couple of days ago before the new guy went in there. So, I mean, look, you never say never with him, do you? I mean, if it means... If he looks at a job and thinks, yeah, I can get the sack from there, I can get a good payoff, he'll go and do it. He won't be looking at it as a footballing job. He'll be looking at it as a payoff, which, of course, that his last few jobs have been that. Just going in for a year or so and then getting sacked and making a living up that way. Geordie Boy says, is Maxi up for sale? There's a channel saying so. It's not the normal bullshit on either. Where are people getting this info from? I'm not getting started. It's just ridiculous. Good evening, Jack Toon. Solo says, evening all. Huge game tomorrow. One of the biggest for some time. I'm feeling confident 2-0 win. How are the lads? Now, by all accounts, guys, it's going to be the biggest Newcastle United attendance, as in Newcastle United fans, ever. So it sort of obviously means that Leicester will have some fans there, but the majority of that ground tomorrow night is going to be Toon fans. Now, of course, you know, War Flags have asked if everybody can take black and white scarves with them. I know Phoebe, my daughter's going; she's got one. So, Alex, have you got one that you bring?
I've got the Bobby Robson one, but I kind of don't want to use it. It's a special scarf.
Well, you'll have to buy one when you get up here.
I've got another one somewhere, like floating around.
I haven't got one. I'll just wave a sock around or something like that. You know, something with NUFC written on, I'm sure.
Apparently, Leicester have only sold 700 tickets for tomorrow's game, which is
that's what I was reading. Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it? I mean, can you imagine a quarter-final of a Carabao Cup and we were going to Leicester, or we were well, for that matter, we were going anywhere. We'd sell out. We'd sell out.
We 3,000, 4,500 to Hillsborough, didn't we? So
exactly. I just, these other clubs that claim they've got the best fans in the leagues and stuff like that, it's laughable at times. Dave Bullman, evening all, agree, would not have been a complete mystery if anyone hired Bruce again. Be great to see Maxi and Isak get some game time on the pitch together tomorrow. Trolls, good evening to you. Sean says, evening everyone, looking forward to the show. It's a shame I'm on night shift. Well, sorry to hear that, matey. Cesare with the usual rules from the mods. Carl says, evening. According to the Chronicle, Cabbage Head recommended Eddie. Well, right. Steve Bruce was quoted, and I repeat, quoted, saying, is that the guy who got Bournemouth relegated? Now, it's clear that he didn't recommend Eddie Howe. It's just laughable. Rich, good evening to you. Really good to catch a live show. Proper community, this at the Toon Review. Thank you, Rich. Colin says, hi, everyone. Have a great show. He also says, my wife, the expert, is saying 3-2 to the Toon tomorrow night. I hope it's not 3-2.
I've still got my winning. Well, I've still got my unbeaten streak. Remember when I'm there in person? So
you have, yeah, indeed. But the last one was another horror show against Bournemouth. But let's hope it's not like that.
Well, even so, it would have been if it was 0-0. I still would have kept my. Well, it would have gone to penalties. So.
Oh, yeah. Imagine if Maxi scores the winner in a cup final. That would shut the haters up. It certainly would. Richard says, never got overly excited with the League Cup, to be honest, but now we have a chance of winning the damn thing, getting quite excited. After Saturday's result, I think we'll batter Leicester. I mean, Billy, do you think we'll get a response tomorrow night? We'll see a response? Because obviously Eddie Howe said he's playing the strongest possible team.
100%. Eddie Howe will have them out there from minute one. We know how great of a motivator he is, how great a manager he is.
Yeah.
Saturday's defeat would have hurt him, even though it wasn't the side that we're going to see tomorrow playing. Yeah, I think they'll be all up to winning this game, and I think they will do. I think they'll do it convincingly as well.
Interesting. £5 super chat from Alex05. Thank you. He says, biggest Newcastle game of my life on Tuesday. 3-0. How are the lads? Yeah, there's a lot of people haven't seen us reach these. I know we did a few years ago during COVID, so but nobody was able to go to that the game against Brentford. Certainly away.
The biggest thing we've probably had is that Benfica game. 2012, I think. So 10 years ago.
Yeah, definitely. Kamal says, good evening, Toon Review crew, mods and chat. Just caught up with a transfer show, and Mo Kudos is the player that would fit our system like a glove. Yeah, he looks exceptional. Let's hope that picks a bit of pace up. Good evening, Spike. Good evening, Jason. Matt's in the house. Sophia. Couldn't really watch the transfer show earlier on, but I'll not say why, Sophia. I don't want to get you into trouble. Paul says, hello all. Darren says, evening all, expecting a huge reaction tomorrow night. Hopefully a comfortable win. Michael says, hi gang, looking forward to the program. Jackie, good evening. Mary says, and of course our fab hosts, give it up for the Toon Review host. Thank you, Mary. Evening, Adam. Andrew's in the house again. Toon Black White Army says, K Dev. Evening all, says Colin. Any idea when the show starts? Joe from Linton. Well, now, funny enough, that looks mysteriously like. Does that look to you like a certain man from Puerto Rico?
No.
I was thinking
really?
more South Africa.
It's not Ches. It's not
there Francisco you go. Either.
No, well, all right. I just said it looked like him, Alex. I'm not saying it is. Rich, just want to say what an amazing job the mods do on this channel. Behind the scenes, deserve a lot of credit making the channel flow so well. Absolutely, they do. Incredible job. Bonjour all. Here's to a great show. Reckon a 2-0 win tomorrow night. Absolutely. Just a win will do. Dare I say, says Kamal, the gloves are off tomorrow. Do you expect us to go at it from the off, Alex, and really get rid of Saturday out of the system?
Yes. The strongest possible lineup he could possibly play. I'm hoping it's got possibly even Isak and Wilson and Miggy in it, and maybe Maxi on the bench, or even Maxi starting. Just all the big hitters. I think we've got enough to absolutely steamroll Leicester. They played Gillingham on the 7th, which is what 2 days ago. So they played when we played the day before, and they've narrowly got past them 1-0. And they played a strong lineup. They played Vardy and Iheanacho up front. They had Tielemans and Mendy in midfield, Perez and Albrighton on either side, Sayuncu and Vestergaard in centre back. So they were using most of their first teamers. Some of them not playing all that many minutes, but still most of their first teamers played that, and they just got a 1-0. They lost their 3 previous fixtures. They got battered by us 3-0, lost 2-1 to Liverpool, lost 1-0 to Fulham even. I expect Eddie Howe to play the strongest possible lineup, and it's back to our standard tactics of, it's been we had to wait. It was Leeds was the last time we've seen our proper first team go out and try and give it. We couldn't do it against Arsenal. Rotated team against Sheffield Wednesday. So it's been a week or two since we've seen our real first team go out and give absolutely throttle a team with the pressures and the just intensity. So I fully expect that.
Billy, you expect the same? Are you expecting us to go out with a real momentum to put things right and get back to the way we used to see in Newcastle this season?
Yeah, without a doubt. What helps, I think, is Leicester. I don't think we'll sit back because I don't think they can. I don't think they're good defensively, so they're going to obviously try and attack us. I don't think they have a choice. They've got defensive players, but they ain't very good. So I think that they might try and attack us, and it'll help us play into our hands. And we'll be on it from minute one, as I said earlier. I think we'll really go at them. I'm
not that impressed with Leicester's defence, to tell you the truth. I mean, they were terrible against us at the King Power, and I don't expect things to really change. I mean, that Feces is just he had an awful game, and I expect even worse from him up here.
I'm still going to defend him and say he's a decent player. He's had a good stretch of good performances. And because he's done that, everybody's just put him in the joke book now.
He helped Liverpool to 2 goals as well, didn't he, the other week? So
yeah, I don't know. He's just very strange. But as Maguire showed at the World Cup, Maguire all of a sudden put an England shirt on in the World Cup, and he was fine. It's sometimes this happens to players. He was absolutely fine before these hilarious mistakes, and he'll probably get back to some form at some point. Just hopefully not against us.
Harry Maguire, incidentally, heavily linked with Aston Villa over the last couple of days. Ulfa says, how come some of our fans are happy we are out of the FA Cup? What kind of nonsense is that? We should try and win all competitions. I agree, Ulfa. Yes, we should try and win all competitions. Some fans are obviously saying that, it gives us some, a bit of time and a bit of rest. But, I think if you think about it, do we really have the squad to go in 3 competitions this season? Possibly not. But listen, that will come. That will certainly come in time. Definitely. Michael says, hi to all. It might be a bit tight, but we will come out on top 1-0. Oh,
a bit Tite. I thought that was the Brazil manager.
A bit Tite, yeah. I hope it's not. I hope we'll go out and absolutely batter them, to be honest. But we'll see. Ross says, good morning. Apparently, Brucey is to announce his retirement. Thank Fook. Yes, I think a lot of Newcastle fans feel the same as that. But he's made enough money through football, through failure, hasn't he? He's the only guy I know who was a multi-millionaire through bloody failure. I know that much. It really pisses you off at times when you think how much he's earned through pure failure. But never mind. Paul Tully says, a huge game, even more so because if we lose 2 cup games in the matter of days, I can't see the hierarchy being happy, but can see a strong team and comfortable win tomorrow. Yeah, one of you mentioned that, didn't you? If we sort of go into the game tomorrow and we lose, will Eddie Howe look back and regret the team that he picked on Saturday, Billy?
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will, but he didn't really have much choice in the matter, did he? You can't predict the future. And he'll fully expect us to have too much quality for Leicester tomorrow. So, I mean, it's a calculated risk, but one that should pay off.
Yeah. Dynamics Detailing says, geez, you lot are working hard. I've just finished the transfer show from earlier and straight on to here. Hey, we bring you the best. You know, we work hard to bring you the best, us three, and we will continue to do that for as long as you guys want us. Geordie Metal, good evening. What was that little snigger for, Stato?
Oh, just as long as you guys want us. Well, hopefully they still want us.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Arsenal are playing in all white with white numbers. What?
Oh, yeah, they are, yeah. It's absolutely pathetic.
White numbers on a white... that makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
James says, Yao Felix to Chelsea is a done deal. Yeah, it seems to be all wrapped up. Whether that does Graham Potter any good, I do not know. Are they just throwing money at it for the sake of it now? Being where they are in the league and such like, it's a bad season for Chelsea.
Hell of a player, though. Hell of a player.
I think it's a panic loan based on Pulisic and Sterling being injured. I don't think he even fits. Where's he going to play? He's not going to play Havertz's role because Havertz still exists unless he's injured. Which I don't think he's injured, is he?
See, I'm not sold on João Felix, but I said that in the World Cup. It's all about opinions. The wrestling man's back. Evening Melons. New wrestling boots ordered. As in, I'm such a great guy and better than all of you. I ordered them from Sports Time.
Well known for the wrestling boots. Mike Ashley.
Yeah. Louis, hang your head in shame, sunshine. I mean, that, you know what? There's been a bad guy in wrestling and there's been, as you say, a melon. And if there's one melon that's done that, you've typed that message, mate, and you've made Sports Direct somehow trying to have a bad guy moment with us mentioning Sports Direct. You, my son, have had a Castore. Stu says, didn't Bruce retire when he came to Newcastle? Some would say, Stu.
Retired when he left Hull.
Paul says, has any manager been paid more simply for being fired? Probably not.
Probably not. I can't think of one.
I mean, Allardyce has had a few in his time, but I don't think Allardyce has actually failed. I mean, he failed at Newcastle, yes, but he had a wonderful time at Bolton Wanderers, didn't he? I can't remember Steve Bruce, apart from maybe Birmingham or Sheffield Wednesday, maybe.
Allardyce failed at West Brom, didn't he, as well?
Yes. Well, maybe we'll put them in the same canoe and send them off into the sunset together. Ian Skinner says, is there any chance that we could swap Windass for Wood?
No.
Simple as that. Stephen says, I heard Bruce say Howe, to be fair, he said Howe the bacon. Yes, that's what he was talking about, not Eddie Howe. He's talking about the bacon, of course. It's going to be 0-0 tomorrow with Chris Wood sending 6 balls to New Zealand. Well, there's 3 of them on the way there now. Clarky, good evening. Keith Moore says, full team tomorrow, Billy?
100%.
And don't forget, you can catch the live commentary from Billy tomorrow night, starting at 7:30 tomorrow night with half an hour build-up and then the full game. So as I say, as usual for the watch-alongs, just knock the commentary off, watch it alongside Billy, and support him tomorrow night. Me and Alex will be at the game. So Billy will be doing the commentary tomorrow night. So give him all your support and tune in. He's a fantastic commentator, and it'll be, well, hopefully very exciting for him tomorrow night, and not like Saturday, but when I was doing the commentary, because it was bloody awful. Trevor says, hi, lads and mods. Love the show. Keep up the work. Thank you very much. Botman's in the house. Any guess who was on VAR Saturday at Anfield? Absolute joke. Did you see what I tweeted out, by the way, chaps? That thing. Well, I'm pleased you read me tweets. Anyway, it was about Mike Dean. A few years back, he was removed from a Liverpool game because the Premier League had said that he's obviously got strong ties to Liverpool with living in the Wirral and family also being season ticket holders there. They removed him from a game. Now he's doing VAR. He's refereeing at, well, he was refereeing at Anfield. It just proves what a bullshit world we live in now.
Yep.
Was he on VAR Saturday, was he? At Liverpool?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
Robertson stepped on Traore's face.
well, more like kicked him in the face, Alex. I mean, and then as if to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that." Yes, you did, sunshine. You could clearly see. Just so,
even if it was accidental, you just, for the sheer sake of the fact it happened, and he, even if it's accidental, it's still dangerous. You need to think better. Even if you didn't mean to hurt someone, you still tried to jump over them. You could land on them. Just don't do that. It's just dangerous. You should have just been sent off anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Colin says, are any of you fellas going to the match on Sunday? Toon review? Yes, I will be there. You can always catch me about an hour and a half before the game. I'm always at the Jackie Milburn statue. Notice I haven't said stand all through this year so far, all 9 days of it. I will be at the Jackie Milburn statue along with some other guys.
It's so hard for you to say that. You
not
have
anymore.
to concentrate.
Not anymore. It's free flowing now. Jackie Milburn statue. There you go. But I will be there just next to the club shop if you want to come and say hello. Jim Pov, good evening. Ashley 80s, good evening. Stu says we will create such an atmosphere tomorrow. Leicester will be like a rabbit in the headlights, just like Arsenal were last season at St James's Park. Yeah, hopefully so. Matthew says scarves are 10 quid at the Metro Centre and St James's, 15% off with student discount. They had loads today. Well, the problem is, Matthew, I'm a long gone past being a student. Although I am always a student of media because I'm always learning new things for YouTube and to promote to you guys out there and to make these shows a little bit better. We are working on a Patreon as well, which will be coming up soon, but that's all I can say because that's literally as far as we've got. So we'll be doing more podcasts behind the scenes that we don't do on live shows. So there's lots to look forward to on here. The under-21s are 2-0 down, says Lewis. Shows how much we need to improve our youth development. Ken says, hi, Paul, Billy and Alex and TDR family. I've had second thoughts since this afternoon about the score for tomorrow night. Earlier I said 2-0, and after much thought and deliberation, I'm going 4-1. Well, that's a big change. But listen, a win's a win at the end of the day, as we found out against Bournemouth. I mean, that game was rotten, Alex. Rotten. And we got through on an own goal. I mean, I know it was the first competitive game back after the World Cup, but it really was rotten. But this is what the cup's like. You hopefully, you're not at it 100%, but you just need to get through.
I mean, it was the World Cup, wasn't it? We just weren't at the races for the Bournemouth game. But I think did we play Bournemouth and then go straight to Leicester? Is that what it was? I can't remember how the fixtures were.
Yeah, it was,
yeah. So obviously that didn't have an effect because we played very well against Leicester the first time round. Yeah, just needed a game to get back into it. It's especially with the way we play football. It's all about passing sequences and reading each other's game, and you've all got to be on the same page with the press and the passing and the movements. And it's we play in that way where you've really got to be connected as a team. So sometimes if you've just come back from a break, it might take a game or two to click. So fortunately, it only took the one game for us to click. So we'll be fine.
Yeah. Jay Devlin, thank you for your £2 super chat. The clickbaiters need to do one, not unsettle the club. Here. Shane says, evening, everyone. I've got engaged today. What a day. Congratulations, Shane.
Congratulations,
nice
buddy.
One, my man. And celebrate. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful future with your fiancée. Great news, that. Great news. Tom's apologising for being 10 minutes late. Well, so you bloody should. Julie said she'll be waving her Toon scarf at home. Yeah, great stuff. Hello, people, says Jack. A 3-0 again tomorrow. Luke P.I. Now, does that mean he's a private investigator, guys?
This is Luke that used to come on the fan forum.
Fan forum, yes, with the very blonde locks, and sometimes wore a hat, didn't he? Evening, fellas. I'm pleased to be checking in again after a bit of an exodus. Keep on keeping on. Let's get stuck into these foxes the more I need. Well, good to see you back, Lou. Luke, private investigator. He's obviously been doing a bit of work with Magnum overseas, and he's back with us now. So good to see him. David says, do you think Chris Wood will feature at all tomorrow? Absolutely fucking not. Moving on. Ulfa says, I would rather have Karius as second goalkeeper than Dubravka. Who will be on the bench tomorrow night, guys?
Darlow, I think.
You're going with Darlow. Interesting. Alex?
I haven't the foggiest. Logically, Darlow would make sense because Dubravka's just had a turn, and then you'd let the other keeper be on the bench if needed, might get minutes.
Yeah. Dubravka's cup side, remember?
Oh, he is.
Did he play in the Carabao Cup for
He
Man
did.
United?
He did. Yes.
Burnley,
So
against Burnley.
Yeah, he is.
There we go. Well, that answers that question. I would imagine he's.
It'll be Darlow.
Yeah. Whenever it's been a choice between Karius and Darlow, he's picked Darlow on the bench, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Foxy says, do the quarterfinals straight to penalties or extra time? I think it's straight to penalties. I think all the rounds apart from obviously the semi-finals final, I'm pretty sure that was the agreement that they all go straight to penalties because all the clubs kicked off about playing so many games. I'm bloody tired, you know. How? Probably not.
Well, it was the big teams were complaining about it because they were having to balance Champions League.
It was Klopp, Billy.
Replays.
It was Klopp, wasn't it?
Literally. He's got to find his.
I wonder if Jurgen's with us tonight. He is. Jurgen, thanks very much for joining us. Was it you that complained about the amount of games that we had in the Carabao?
No, not me. We got knocked out for the Carabao Cup, so it didn't affect us.
You know, but I mean, what do you think about the amount of games, Jurgen? I mean, you know, all these players on millions of pounds a year, and does it really get to you, even though they're super fit?
It gets to me an awful lot. My dread for gonna take too many games, you know.
Right, yeah, thank you very much. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the Irish Jurgen Klopp there.
I've got no beard now, so I don't even look like him.
Well, you didn't, to be fair, Billy, you didn't sound like him either. It was very Irish when you were finishing your sentences. Anyway, thank you to whoever that was for the interview there. Elliot says, is the game on TV? It is. It's on Sky. But like I say, knock off the commentary, mute it so you don't listen to the mutants commentating, and listen to Billy Bob on the watch along here. So you can watch the game on Sky and Billy will be commentating. Matty says, evening, guys. How's Danielle? It's been a while for me. Great show. Danielle is fine. In fact, she was in the chat. She was in the chat this afternoon on the transfer show, so she is well. Thank you for asking. Jim says, watching Arsenal Oxford, is Jacob Murphy playing for Oxford? What? Someone look alike, Billy?
I think he's twin brother. I think it's Josh.
Oh, it's Josh playing at Oxford now, is he? I thought he was at Cardiff.
Oh, not anymore.
Oh, okay. Stu says, we need a reaction from the lads after the disappointment in the last game. Come on, the Toon. Tom says, first time seeing my club in a quarter-final. You know what it is? It's massively exciting for the younger generation of fans, Alex, because, you know, we haven't really, back in the, you know, we've made the FA Cup a couple of times, FA Cup final, we just haven't got over the line kind of thing. This is big for not just them, but also the older Newcastle fans who you know, we haven't seen silverware since '69. I mean, it's massive all round.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a table that somebody posted today on Twitter of our FA Cup results and which stage we went out in recent seasons. Well, I say recent seasons, they put like the last decade, and it was third round, fourth round, third round. It was bloody awful. And yeah, we've not had anything for a long time. Obviously, we got the Europa League in 2012. The cup runs have been non-existent apart from winning the championship, which, although is nice, is not really what we're looking for at all. So yeah, this is we've done okay in even under Bruce. We've had routes to go far in a competition, whereas this time it feels like we've also got the squad to maybe do it, or the first 11. We've got a team good enough that when we get to these quarters and semis and even a final, we could potentially, we feel like we can beat most people on their day. We were very unfortunate against Liverpool in the league. We were very good against Man City. We've kept Arsenal out at 0-0. So all the best teams in the land we've been absolutely fine against.
Yeah.
So, you know, 3 games till 3 games to go. Let's keep it going.
Indeed. The Cramlington Wanderers says 76 was the last time we made the League Cup semi-finals and we beat Spurs over 2 legs. Well, I think I was about a month and a half years old, so I wasn't very old at all. Just born into the world. Nobby Solano is at the under-21 match right now. Super. He still bleeds black and white. He really does. So looking forward to tomorrow. 4-0 the Toon. Joe from Linton is from Gators Head. I presume he means Gateshead. Oh, dear me. Mal the Grinch, good evening. Geordie Howie Man says, hi, TDR family. I'm now over Saturday. How are the lads tomorrow? Get into them. Graham Ritchie's going 2-0 to us. Ulfa says the Gateshead Puerto Rican. Yvonne's missing Danielle. We all are, Yvonne. We all miss her. But our health is way more important. Alice says, I'm traveling all the way from Plymouth to see this bloody Nora. I mean, that's a good 8 hours on the train. Jesus. I hope it's worth it for you, Alice. I really do. John says, what about this lad? Do I think we go in for him? Hussein Aoua.
I think that was linked on another channel, wasn't it? I've not seen anything that I trust to talk about on our channel. So,
okay, there you go. He has spoken. Rabia says, evening all. Was there an evening silence before the show missed the start? Not tonight, there wasn't. But to be fair, there wasn't from our side last night either. But when I went to put it onto Spotify and iTunes, by the way, those of you that don't know, all the shows go up onto iTunes and Spotify and all the other good podcast providers about an hour after the show. So you can listen to it in the car, in the gym, out walking the dog, all sorts of stuff. So iTunes, Spotify, etc. But when I uploaded it to the podcast services last night, it did have a huge gap where the intro was supposed to be. But as I say, we saw the intro on here on StreamYard. Billy's got the same system as me, obviously, because
we had to sit and watch it.
But then when Susan played it back to us, and it was just us 3 staring at the screen.
Fortunate, really, that we weren't doing anything untoward, isn't it?
Well, whatever you want to do before the show, Billy, to warm yourself up, that's fine. I'm pleased you bloody didn't. Francisco, good evening, pal. In the words of Shaggy, it wasn't me. You've got a lot of doppelgangers, Francisco. I'll tell you that, sunshine. By the way, I will be replying to you this week, mate. We are going to get. We're not going to get together, obviously, because of the huge distance between the countries we live in, but electronically, shall we say, to get some new tunes, etc.
I want my rum.
Well, I want mine, Alex. You've got to bring yours. You've got to bring a Captain Morgan up for me after my prediction. Remember,
we'll send him some Brunel.
Yes, but we are expecting a crate load of rum from Puerto Rico in the next few months, Mr. Francisco. Thank you. Darren says, since playing Leicester in the Premier League a few weeks ago, what can we learn from that match and apply to tomorrow's game? The central defence is shit. That's what I'm going for. And I think that should be on a big poster in the dressing room as the Newcastle players go in. Feces is as much use as his name sounds. Sonchu is just concentrating on his golden locks. Who's the other one? Samare?
Amati, is it?
Amati, Samare, yeah.
They got Vestergaard as well.
Oh.
He's just played, though.
Yeah, look... Yeah. Good evening, V for Vendetta. Dave says, watched back the transfer show. Good to see Alex and Paul standing up for Maximum and giving some proper perspective. Confident of a win tomorrow after Saturday's result. Thanks, Dave. Oh, dear. Rachel's feeling pretty crap on the sofa under a blanket. Well, you get well soon, Rach. But I would recommend staying off the old, it can't be doing your immune system any good, Rachel. It's just... you're getting black eyes, you're getting bruises. Give up the tipple, man. Dan says, we've never seen Maxi, Miggy, Bruno and Isak on the pitch together. Hope we get to see that. Would be great.
Exactly. This is another big point. Everybody keeps slating Maxi, and I keep having to remind them that he's got Burn behind, who has a less attacking role, and he's normally got Wood in front of him. So, wait till he's got some of the proper attackers on his side. Because one of the reasons Miggy's done so well is because he's literally his little passing sequence triangle is Bruno and Trippier. Of course, he's going to look a lot better.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. Shane says Brendan Rodgers has confirmed no Maddison. KDH. Who's KDH?
Dewsbury Hall.
Oh yes, it is. That's a bonus, by the way, because he's a good. I like him. Sumari's not playing, and Dennis Nat the Pratt's not playing either. So it'll be the same squad that faced Gillingham. Interesting. Faramir says, I'm watching Oxford against Arsenal. I'm pretty sure I've just seen Murphy play. Loads of people are saying that it's his twin brother. It's Josh, his twin. Oh dear. I see Chelsea have been playing Championship Manager again, just signed Felix on loan. Yeah, I do think Chelsea do play a lot of Football Manager, but in real life.
They do.
Plus,
Koulibaly is so bad. Did you see his defending?
Marcus Thuram as well.
Yeah, they are. Marcus Thuram, yeah. Crazy, man.
He just sort that defence out first.
Indeed. That Warlord says, hello, everyone. Don't know why people keep hating on Chris Wood. He's the greatest thing since pot noodle. Good job you put laughing emojis in there, Mr. Warlord, I tell you. Volk says, where is the press conference? Well, it happened, but unfortunately, there was nothing in the media about it. I normally go off the website and things like that, but it was put up really late. That's why I didn't do a press conference reaction. But listen, he said what was needed to be said about playing the strongest team possible, looking to get straight back to winning ways. And I don't think he was asked about the lack of about the shooting problem that we have at the club, which is annoying, Billy, because if you're in that press conference, you do want to ask the manager, what are these guys doing in training, in shooting practice that's not been seen on the pitch.
I imagine they don't feel it's respectful to ask the question. I mean, we know Eddie Howe's a thorough manager, but it just seems to be on the pitch at the moment that technique and shooting isn't there. But they should have asked if there's been more extra kind of specialised training, certainly for the attackers anyway, about shooting from distance or from close in. Because it's happened too often lately. It's happened too often, way too often.
I like this from Mark. He says, Josh Murphy for Oxford looks like Jacob Murphy. Twins normally do, mate. Honestly, they are twins, aren't they? Yes, they are. What am I talking about?
Robbie Fowler's in the coaching staff for Oxford by the look of it.
Is he just not? Is he not on the line, Billy?
He's on the line, actually.
Yeah, thought he might be. Those of you that don't know, ask your parents. Big chances missed Premier League first Liverpool. Wow. So that big chances missed in the Premier League. First to Liverpool with 42, second Man City 33, and third Newcastle on 33. Wow.
Mm-hmm. That's how much we're not burying our chances. And to be fair, it shows Liverpool would be higher up if they could also bury that. I mean, half of them are probably just Nunez by himself. But yeah, we're second in the league for big chances missed.
Well, that's probably when Chris Wood's was centre forward as well, to be fair. Ronald says, rumour is Eddie is playing Chris Wood at left back tomorrow. Oh, Jesus. He ain't got the pace to play left back. Sean says, evening, fellas. Love the show. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you, buddy. Would rather rotate Wilson and Isak through the rest of the season than have Isak at the wing. It's a good point, that, Charles, actually, because, if he plays Wilson and Isak and one of them gets injured, then Chris Wood gets promoted again. And don't want that. Darren says, early goal tomorrow, and I think we will hammer them. If we get to 35 minutes, the crowd might become restless. I hope not, but hopefully the early goal will come. Well, they didn't get restless against Bournemouth, Alex, did they? I mean, we were... It was just one of those games that we thought, Newcastle did dominate, to be fair. They did have the majority of possession. It was just the finishing again was poor. I mean, that one from from Miggy. I mean, how we missed that from a yard out, I'll never, ever know that. And then, of course, Chris Wood ballooned one, which I think is now on the way back from orbiting the moon. He's got a few more heading that way as well. I don't think we became restless, though.
It wasn't a very good atmosphere, I have to admit. Out of all the times I've been to St James's Park, I thought that Bournemouth game was the quietest the crowd.
Well, we were in the clouds, Alex. You know what? We weren't near the, you know.
That might have had an influence on it, but I still think it was quite quiet. I've heard a few. I think Tom said it as well. I think there was a few people said it was quite quiet. You know, going by. I mean, I'd been away for years. Coming back to the Arsenal game at the end of last season was the first time I'd been back in many, many years. Since I don't know, I think the last time I was there before that was when we played against Villa in the Championship when Bruce was managing Villa. So it was a while ago. Yeah. And you know, the atmosphere, the contrast was insane. So it was better for the friendlies, in my opinion. The preseason friendly atmosphere was better than the Bournemouth game. So hopefully we can bring a
I have a feeling it'll be a little bit louder than that tomorrow night, Alex. You know, everybody was just getting back into it after the World Cup, and busy with Christmas coming up and stuff like that. And I just think it'll be completely different tomorrow night. It really will. Malcolm Taylor, thank you for your £10 super chat. Much appreciated, my friend. He says, hi all. Nothing against Longstaff, but I would love it if Maxi starts tomorrow with Joe playing in midfield, hopefully all being well. Well, we'll see.
It's not going to happen. Because it's Willock plays left mid and Longstaff plays right mid. And it's just the way he balances it out because they've got their assigned roles. And I just don't think that happens. He's not going to put Willock out on the right because they've done so much work with him playing left side and doing the little overlaps. And I could be wrong, but they've done a lot of training.
He is partial to a surprise, Alex, as we well know. So,
yes.
Emma, I wouldn't do this. I mean, I wouldn't take it this far. Emma says, if Chris Wood plays, I'm killing myself. The kid should stick to Ruby, or I presume she means rugby, because he isn't a professional footballer. Please don't, Emma. I don't think he will start, though. Not after what happened there. Stu says, I think the last game exposed to Eddie just how weak some of our squad players actually are. Even with better coaching and better players around them, these players are not improving. Yeah, can't disagree with it. Tide says, why didn't Howe play our A team against Sheffield and sub them off once we're 2-0 up? Billy?
Because you can't take 11 players off, can you?
Do you know what? Sometimes I wonder why I ask you questions like that, Billy. I
would have said exactly the same thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, be nice to our viewers, guys. I mean, I can understand what he's saying there. You know, you can make 5 substitutions. Therefore, you know, take off instead of bringing on Bruno, etc. Start them, win the game, take them off.
You're gambling, aren't you? Because I mean, if Sheffield Wednesday fall into a defensive system and just try to hang on for an hour, you're stuck with an hour of players you've got, you know, in the legs that you don't want in the legs. So, I don't know. I think you went the right way thinking about it.
Yeah. Rich wants to let Bruce have one more try at Bristol City. Poor Annie. Wednesday are much stronger than the Foxes. You should roll them, says Callum. Shamrock says, speaking to Arsenal fan today, and they are hoping Oxford knock them out of the FA Cup as he wants them to concentrate on the league. On reflection, if we win the Carabao or finish top 4, it's not a bad thing. Well, we were asked this on the transfer show earlier on today about, you know, would we prefer top 4 or a cup win, Billy? Why not both?
Why not? We're sat in the top 4 now. And we're only, 1, 2, 3, 4 games from the Carabao Cup? Yeah, it's not impossible, is it?
Yeah. Foxy says, don't think fans are happy with any cup exit, but it's sometimes what fans say to make themselves feel better while crying. Absolutely, Foxy. And I think that is the reason that they just go into a shell and think, oh, you know, let's look at the positives. Let's look at the fact that we don't have so many games and things like that, and just to make us feel better and find a reason for it. But unfortunately, I'm gutted. We're out the cup, but we have another one tomorrow night. Leicester are weak on set pieces. I can see Botman getting a goal from Trippier's quality. Well, yeah, absolutely. But we have to start making these corners count. I don't know what it is with corners. I know we scored one at the weekend, but it was miles offside. But apart from that, corners haven't really been working for us. But then again, Joe Linton scored one at Leicester, didn't he? Whatever. I'll shut up, I'll just, forget I said that. Moving on. John Bruce says, good evening, all. Paul, would you please ask Alex what makes his guitar? Well, he's there. I got a Gibson Hummingbird at Christmas. I thought that was, you need an Avery for that, not a guitar case.
I don't know what mine is. This was my father's. I'm not sure. This is the one that I need to get refurbished. So it's from 59.
Hang on, Billy. That looks like a giant violin to me.
No, it's a late 50s job. It's
it's from the very late 50s. I don't know exactly when, but yeah. And mine behind it is a Schecter electric guitar.
It's very similar to what style of guitar to what the Beatles used to play.
The who?
The Beatles.
Never. No, not the Who. The Beatles.
Not the Who. The Beatles. Generally, the Who's guitars are all smashed up.
Yeah, the old ones are the best, man. Ulfa says a Newcastle United supporting couple from Darlington are travelling in Iceland and are asking me if the game is going to be on Sky tomorrow. Yes, it is, Ulfa. But tell them to turn, if they're in a pub, tell the pub landlord to turn off the sound and stick on Billy's watch along. It's far more entertaining. Neil says, hi all, even Leicester fans are thinking they will get beat 4 or 5-0, which is why they only have 1,000 fans coming. I don't think they're even going to get 1,000, to be honest. I think it was 700, you said, Billy, yeah?
700, yeah.
Yeah. Ross says, Steve Bruce is a genius. Take a job, do poorly, become a multimillionaire, top work. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is. Ian says, let's get real. All right, Mr. John Sinclair. We're not an all competitions club yet. That was clear against Sheffield Wednesday. There is Ian Skinner there, keeping it real, guys. Down with it. In the chat. Julie J says, no doubt there'll be a video from Darren Farley regarding Bruce. Absolutely.
He'll be good. He'll be good.
Sorry? Absolutely, yeah. Darren says, did anyone see the Wolves player with the badges upside down? Still can't figure out if it's a wind-up with Photoshop. It was genuine, mate. If you go back and watch the game, it was upside down. But nothing surprises you about Castoria these days, to be honest.
But they keep getting new contracts.
Yes.
They got Villa, they got Wolves, they got us. I don't know how they get in these clubs.
But they might not have us for very much longer, Alex. Let's just keep fingers crossed on that one. Grandad Shed says, breaking news, Steve Bruce hired by the BBC Sport as technical advisor pundit.
I don't think so.
No. Big Daddy would fold him, obviously having a go at Louis now. Last time I was in Sports Direct, I trashed the shop.
Jesus.
I'm surprised any of them in the Northeast didn't just constantly get demolished or just... Well, maybe they did. I don't know. I don't live in the Northeast, but I can imagine that the ones anywhere near the city centre surely just got abused all the time. You wouldn't want to work there.
Well, you certainly wouldn't want to work there. I know that much. Scott says, rumour has it, Maxi is back in training. I love the little emojis put there as well. Oh, yeah. Tim says, will Isak make the full 90? Absolutely not. There's no way on this earth you play a full 90 minutes. Julie says, support Billy on the watch along. He lets us all stay up later than Paul. What is that supposed to... What's that supposed to mean?
Won't be tomorrow, 10 to 5, getting up in the morning. So,
hey Billy, it could go longer. Let's hope it doesn't.
No, it goes to penalties and it's all dramatic. You never know.
Yeah. Can you imagine that it's penalties and then it just goes to sudden death penalties and everyone keeps on scoring and
I don't want that. I've never seen penalties in real life before. I must have been to 70, 80 matches of my life. I've never seen penalties and they're not good.
They're not great. It's not a great experience, to be honest. Yeah,
in the stadium you can't. You've just got
it's a nightmare. It's awful. Unless Chris Wood's taking it and you know it's in the back of the net, which is the only time you're ever confident of Chris Wood. Clarky says, speaking of Castoria, my top finally arrived just before Christmas and only took 4 months. Congratulations, Clarky. Is it terrible for me to hope that Maxi gives Wood whatever bug he got so we don't have to see him tomorrow? Oh, God. David says a local roofing firm in Sheffield have just finished putting up the scaffolding to retrieve a lost ball from the match. Oh, my God. Apparently, the reason Arsenal are wearing all white tonight is a stance against violence. No red, no blood. They'll be back wearing red next week, no doubt. Then, well, if that's the case, fair enough. That's a good statement to make, I suppose, especially with knife crime as it is, like it is in London, especially, of course. So if they're making a stance on that, then good on them. Stato,
they could
please.
Put black numbers on the back, couldn't they? They could have put black numbers on the back. I mean,
well, yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, probably. Barney Min says, Stato, please, for the love of God, when referring to Hull, can Hull, please?
I'd love to help, but I don't know what you want.
Say Hull instead of Hull, I suppose.
Yeah.
Can Hull. Is that
Hull.
how they say it?
Hull.
I come from Hull.
Yeah, Hull. Be Happy says, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Be Happy, and I hope you are. Dan's asking if I run the Toon Review Twitter again. Yes, I do. Long gone are the, can't be asked with trolls anymore. So, life is better when you don't even give them time. Simple as that. Has there been any news about James Maddison? No. Apart from Brendan Rodgers saying that he's day-to-day, he won't be playing tomorrow. Well, he said he won't be playing tomorrow, but you never know. Do you think Tielemans is going to play tomorrow, guys?
Yes.
He played against Gillingham in the Cup. Hang on a minute. Did he get? Let me check if he got subbed. My internet wants to wake up. So he started. He did. I don't think he got subbed.
They're struggling injury-wise, aren't they? So I think he'll definitely
No, he played 90 minutes. So he's literally just played 90 minutes 3 days ago. So 2 days ago from now. So he's going to be struggling.
Yeah, absolutely. Robert says, I'm not sure if you guys saw it the other day. I saw the PIF might be buying the WWE. Yes, I did see that. Which will be great for Louis Von Wrestler, as he may be able to have a quick word with Amanda and get promoted to take on Triple H or whatever for the title, and
it could be the Toon Tyrant, black and white striped shirt.
Spandex, Alex, not a shirt. Spandex.
Oh, yeah.
He won't be wearing shirts. Geordie Howe says, theoretical question. Bloody hell, I said that right on a Monday night, guys. If you won the toss tomorrow, would you kick towards the Gallagher first or second half? We seem to be better kicking up the hill at the moment. I don't think it matters, to be honest. I know that.
Just to me.
Really?
Yeah, Gallagher second half every time.
See, I don't like that.
It pisses me off when teams come and win the toss and they all change sides. It really pisses me off. They're doing it for a reason.
Well, what, just to piss you off?
Not just me, but just to kind of just change the routine of it. It's awkward when they're kicking the wrong way first half. I think it is anyway.
Well, not for me. I sit in the leasers. I prefer the second half my way because you tend to get more goals. That's just been. I'm just being spiteful there. I just sit in the leasers, so I prefer when they're attacking that end of the second half. Ian says Billy is a great commentator. Yes, he is. Tranmere to Liverpool. What Gateshead is to Newcastle. It certainly is, Ulfa. Oxford are having a good go at Arsenal. Is that right, Billy?
Yeah, it's
you've got the game on there.
0 at half time. Very even game.
Wow. Be Happy says, I met you last season before the Wolves game. It was great to meet you, mate. Thank you very much. What time's kickoff tomorrow, says Tony? It's 8 p.m. It all starts on the Toon Review at 7:30 with half an hour build-up with Billy, going through the teams and getting your input into what you think is going to happen and reaction to the team news, etc. I reckon if we get a midfielder and maybe some cover for Trippier, we will be okay this season. Tom saying go to the back page for the scarves. Yeah, it's just behind St James's Park. Be Happy says, just wanting to check, will we have to play a semi-final over 2 legs? Yes. Carabao Cup is always. Do any of you know why that's 2 legs? Does it make any sense, or is it just so each team has home advantage?
Yeah, there's no neutral grounds in the Carabao League Cup, so yeah, to make it fair, a leg at each ground. But it's been like that for years and years and years and years and years.
Yeah. Interesting question from I Like Coffee. Fun question. If the Toon Review were owners of Newcastle for a week, what would Paul's week be like? Well, I don't know, really. I mean,
You're signing a lot of checks, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah. Well, I'd probably just give Danielle the checkbook and just tell her to get herself on a plane, go and sign what she wants. I'll sit in a throne. That's what I would do. I'd have a throne overlooking the pitch with massive camels either side of me.
You've missed step 1, which is Chris Wood and a taxi service.
Well, I mean, he wouldn't be in a taxi. He'd be, someone else.
It'd be like in the original Hulk. He'd just be given a suitcase and just walking away slowly with the piano.
No, I'd make sure he was locked away for a long time. To be honest, but I think a throne, a couple of camels, golden camels by the side of me throne. I'd have a huge Toon Review flag above the stand. I wouldn't turn it into a Mike Ashley thing where we've got the Toon Review logo literally all over St James's Park. I would certainly, well,
not much then. Just the camels and the flags and the throne.
Wouldn't you go to Castore and get a shirt that fits properly? A nice 6 or 7 XL.
Well, no. What I'd do, Billy, is I'd fire Castore and bring in Adidas or someone like that, and get Adidas to make my new shirt. I'd turn Castore's shop back into Newcastle United club shop. That's what it would simply be called, not Castore. With a few Newcastle badges outside, and I'd make sure that every
Rangers emails either. I don't care about Rangers.
Well, yes, I'd stop the Rangers emails coming to you, Alex. That's one of the things I'd do. Then obviously, I would have to get another throne for Susan and a crown for Susan, and 2 golden Shih Tzus either side of her, in homage to.
What if the camels and the Shih Tzus don't get along?
I'm sure they would. I'd have to have a golden retriever statue as well there for Elsie. And Billy, I'd have a whole restaurant dedicated to Billy, so he can tell them what he wants on match days and things like that. As well as a throne.
Just a fucking bar will do. I don't want a restaurant.
Well, all right, you can have the bar. That's fine. Whatever you want. Alex, I would make sure that there was a big screen up inside St James's Park just for you with stats on it, just throughout the game, showing you what the XGs are and everything like that, so you can quickly write them down for the review shows. So a lot would change. And obviously, team-wise, I'd sack them. No, I wouldn't sack Eddie Howe. Actually, I'd keep Eddie Howe on. There would be no reason to sack Eddie Howe. I've had too much Pepsi, guys.
You can sack Steve Bruce again if you wanted to.
Well, not really. I don't want to pay him any more money, Billy. You know what I mean? I'd hire Steve Bruce to sell the kebabs outside the ground. Something like that. I wish that question had never been asked. Let's move on. Julie says where Billy's face when looking up at the screen for the match, it's like he's been told off by someone really tall.
That's really true.
or TTR Fridays, it's known.
Oh, it does. When you look up at the screen, it's like, sorry, sir. Brilliant. Oh, God. Pedro says the lads would have had a good kick up the backside, and I'm expecting a first-team squad and a 3-0 win, as is Robert. Johnny Mag says, evening, guys. Late back from work, just took the dog out for his evening organism. That sounds even more weird than what Andrew said the other day. Anyone see Paul Robinson say Leeds should sign Chris Wood? Yes, I did, and I mentioned that in the show this afternoon. We do have to, Geordie Howe, man. I think that's a continued membership, matey. So thank you very much for your continued support of the channel. Billy, I don't know whether you saw that. Paul Robinson's
earlier.
Yeah. His quote was just wow. Fez says his mug came today. Especially cheers, lads. Especially Stato. Dad's over the moon with it. Yeah, of course. Stato lost his lost his in our new competition on a Friday. But quite impressive, actually, that the mugs went on Saturday, and a lot of people have received them today. So that's really good. Jack's in the house. Good evening to Jack. Be Happy says, I will need to do the scarf waving throughout the game. It took off during Glenn Roder's time as manager.
Yep.
Okay. Sean says, evening, everyone. Loving the show. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Sean. Ross says, Big Joe needs to start in the middle with Bruno, I reckon. We'll have more midfield drive. Drop Longstaff. Maxi left. Isak right. Wilson middle in that 3.
I'm going to... we need to record. We need to record like a little 15-second segment of me explaining why he plays Willock and Longstaff together, so that when people say that, we can just play the clip, because I'm bored of saying it now. Longstaff plays on that right-hand side for the athleticism, and he's a role that he's got to go and support Miggy and do this and do that. And Willock is specifically on that left side to go and do overlaps. That they're there for a reason. It's not just a case of putting central midfielders in anywhere in the central midfield. But we don't do that anymore. We have tactics. We do tactics now. There is a reason.
Yeah, we do tactics. We don't hatch people out of eggs anymore. Darren says, if I see you tomorrow, I'll say hi, Paul. Never spoke, so it'd be good to say hello. Taking my mate, only his second ever game, but he's got no balance and in level 7. So I haven't had the heart to tell him. Jesus. Wow. So, yeah.
Very high.
Well, I'm in level 7 as well, but I'm at the front. I have a barrier. I'll feel safer tomorrow. Because it's basically like being at the top of the old Milburn stand, and I was fine when I used to sit there. But that's fine. I'll be outside the Jackie Milburn statue a good hour and a half before the game. So come and say hello just by the club shop. Alex, stop trying to put me off when I say that, because I know what you like. Because you know when I'm going to say it, when people say they want to come and say hello. So you know I'm going to say it, and you keep sort of putting that stupid smirk on as I'm saying it. Aye, Billy. That's what he does. I'm better now. I'm better. Ashley 80 says, we'll definitely be better with Nick Pope back. Yes, don't get Billy started on Dubravka. Foxy says, was that impression Jurgen Klopp or John Aldridge? Yeah. Retro says, Jurgen or Klopp. I like coffee says Irish Jurgen Klopp. Bath says Jurgen flops. Oh dear me, Jesus Christ! Jurgen does his teeth with a jet wash. Yes, excuse me, darling. Before I come to bed, I'm just going to use the jet wash. One must jet wash. Those pearly whites. Billy's gone Welsh again, says Carl. Was that Klopp or Mr. O'Malley? Dear me. Hi guys. Chris Wood, brilliant centre forward, brilliant at missing from 6 yards. Yes, very good. Very, very, very good from 6 yards on the penalty spot. But either side of that, atrocious. But there you go. Right, we'll do some team predictions shortly. I mean, before we do that, guys, I mean, how do you generally think Leicester will approach the game tomorrow? Alex, we'll start with you, because obviously it looks like they've got a lot of injuries. So where do Leicester look at this game? Because they'll want to win it. They'll want to get through to another final. They've done really well in competitions of late, so they'll want to get to Wembley again.
I don't think they've got much of a choice. I think they're in bad form. I think they've got injuries. I think they're pretty hamstrung into what team they're going to be able to play. Jamie Vardy's played a bunch recently. I think they played Soyuncu and Vestergaard a couple of nights ago in the FA Cup game. So I think it's likely you'll see two others play. Who was it that's injured? Was it Samare?
Yeah.
So it could be an Amate. I'm not saying it the way you say it. What fast? It could be him partnering Amate.
Alex, just say his real. Just say the Toon review name, will you? He's feces. That's how good he is. He's feces.
I mean, I would imagine players like Perez or Albrighton would get a game, but they both played 90 minutes 2 days ago. So Harvey Barnes likely to play. If Daka's fit, he'll play. Yeah, I still think it's going to be a tough game. I mean, Daka got through a couple of times against us, and they subbed him off. I thought he was the most dangerous player. It was only because Nick Pope managed to get a good. I can't remember how he saved it. Glove, body. He did some. He blocked it somehow. He was quick to react. So Daka's threatening. So we've got to make sure we're aware of that. But I would imagine, our big hitters have only played half an hour. They should be pretty up for it. Yeah. Everybody's fairly rested. Players like Cher and Botman have had a bit of a rest. Trippier only had to play sort of 20, 25 minutes. So, Wilson hopefully is back fully fit now. He was a little bit lethargic the other day against Arsenal.
Yeah.
So I would imagine they're going to struggle. I don't see how they're going to play. They're just, most of their big hitters are all surely knackered. Apart
Billy,
from the centre-backs who've been rested.
Billy, what do you reckon?
I just don't think they can defensively come and try and sit back and play for penalties. I just don't think they're capable of doing that. So I don't think when Rodgers actually likes to do that either. So I think they'll, no matter what side they put out, I think they'll have a go at us.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure they've got the quality to do it successfully anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know who's fit and who isn't fit, but I don't think it matters, to be honest.
I mean, Barnes played in the Fulham game on the 3rd of January, dropped to 5.9 rating, lowest of the side. Perez has played all the minutes since then and must be knackered. Tielemans has played all the minutes as well. Vardy's surely can't play anymore. Surely it's got to be Daka. I've got no idea.
Time will tell. Tom says, are the semi-finals not played at Wembley? No, that's the FA Cup, mate. The League Cup is always 2 legs home and away. But the FA Cup semi-finals for ridiculous money-making reasons are at, of course, Wembley. Mark says, 1976, weren't you 35 then, Paul? Mark, I can easily fall out with you. I suggest you take your face for a shit. Mal the Grinch says, to be fair, I would like to see NUFC TV showing all our games. Well, they can't, or home games. They can't due to the contractual things with the Premier League and everything. Guys, over 800 watching tonight, which is absolutely fabulous again. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are enjoying the show so far, please don't forget to hit that like button, as it really does help us with algorithms and things like that on good old YouTube. And of course, if you're new to the channel, like what you see, please hit the subscribe button, free to do so. And also the bell, which will let you know when we go live, upload a video or schedule in a show, so you can put it in your diary so you don't miss it. You can donate, of course, to the Toon Review as well if you hit that $sign at the bottom of the live comments. And you can join if you hit the green button that says join. You can become a member and get yourself in for all sorts of prizes and things like that. And of course, we do merchandise. And if you want a bit of Toon Review merch in your house, this is where to find it.
So let's get down to business.
I've been waiting, think I wanna make that move now. Baby, tell me if you like it. Tell me if you like it now. I've been waiting, think I'm gonna make that move now. Baby, tell me how you like it.
Let's get down to business.
So there you go, guys. toonreview.co.uk, the place to go for all your Toon Review merch. So get yourself on there after the show and have a look. We'll come on to team predictions very shortly. We'll do a couple more comments from you guys. ASM must start. Is he a threat? Is he always a threat and can take defenders out of the game so easy, says Corby. Alan says, I'd be happy with a 1-0 off Wood's backside because he cannot hit a barn door with his feet. That's a good very point.
I don't want to see him on the pitch.
No
reason for him to play this game. None at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom was listening to the transfer show on Spotify. Thank you very much, Tom. Ronald says Sunderland are signing Mustafa Kaki. Ronald, I don't really care who Sunderland sign, if I'm openly honest. Dominic says 4-1 Toon with Isak on the wing. Be happy, says Alan. I don't care how. I'd be delighted to see us through. Congo Fox says, Paul, did you ever give away the Cisse thing I gave you? Yes, ages and ages and ages ago I did, yeah. That went a long time ago. But thank you for that. Arsenal players are at it again, says Tony. What does he mean by that, Billy? Are they throwing themselves all over the place again?
There's been a bit of that going on, yeah. Saka's done it a couple of times, I've seen.
Interesting. Steve says, do you think Madison and Tielemans will play? Well, Madison's injured. Tielemans, will he be? I mean, fatigue's got to come into this at some point. I would think tomorrow with Leicester because of their injuries, Alex.
I mean, not everybody's Sean Longstaff, and that's the good thing about him. Is he can play 3 or 4 games in. You know, I think he played 4 games in like 10 or 11 days. It was ridiculous. I think it was during that Palace Cup game. There were so many games within like a 10-day period, and Longstaff literally played every single minute, and wasn't too bad either. So they can't all do it. I mean, he might be fine, but he's not going to be at his best. It's going to be risking injury on their part.
Yeah.
The thing is with players like that is we've still got to treat them with respect. They're still a Premier League level club. Well, they're higher than that. When they're on their day, they're a European challenging club when they're playing at their best. We know that. So you know, Tielemans is quite capable, as we've seen a couple of goals this season from him. Just 25, 30 yards, don't care, top corner, boom, goal. He's not, you know, he's got that quality. They could score a couple of goals with absolutely nothing. Barnes as well, when he decides to turn up, could score from nothing. So we've got to show them some respect and play our game.
Yeah,
but yeah,
definitely.
they've got to be knackered. They will be knackered, which will help. That will reduce their technical quality if they're really tired.
Yeah. Francisco says, I'm finding out with customs what are the new rules and laws for sending the magic liquid. Apparently there's been some changes, but we'll let you know soon. Well, thank you, Francisco. KT says, Isak scoring 2. His interview was great and he is very hungry. Come on, United. Absolutely. Neil says, get rid of Chris Woods as fast as we can. We lose games through him. He looks petrified every time he gets the ball. Rachel is calling me a cheeky bugger for suggesting she's an alcoholic. I do apologise. Alan says, snap, well said. It will only be our second semi-final in competition in 70 years. A bit of history under Howe already. Fingers crossed. Alvin, good evening to you. Been away for a bit. Yes, we haven't seen you for a while. You guys are the hardest working Newcastle YouTubers. Looking forward to another great show. Thank you very much, Alvin. Much appreciated, buddy. Right. We will do the team predictions. Billy, what's your team going to be for tomorrow night?
Pope, Trippier, Cher, Botman and Byrne, Bruno, Willock, Longstaff, Joe Linton, Ward left, Miggy Ward right, and Callum Wilson through the middle. Interesting.
By the way, Chris from Leicester Till I Die TV has put a comment in. Me and Chris had a discussion off air and sorted everything out.
Is Chris in, is he? I'll change my line then. We'll have Alex Stepney in goal, Eric Cantona up front.
He says, Chris says, if you do beat us, I hope you guys go on and win the thing. Thanks, Chris. We'll get you on very soon to maybe get you on the review show to talk about the match. It'd be good to see you. And it's great that we managed to sort things out like grown adults instead of being silly with each other like we were. But we were both having very bad days that day. But let's put it that way. But Chris is a good guy deep down, and it's good that there's actually adults out there in the world who can talk like adults and sort things like adults. It's incredible when that happens. It's bizarre. Anyway, Alex, hang on a minute. Brian says Mustafi Kaki is a joke, Paul. He's an Egyptian bog attendant. How the bloody hell would I know that? I don't care anyway. Anyway, Alex, get on with it.
I'm 99% exactly the same as Billy, unless so yeah, Pope, Trippier, Cher, Botman, Byrne, Bruno in the 6, and then Willock and Longstaff with Joe Linton, Wilson, Miggy. And then I think the only 2 changes up for debate are whether he'll give Maxi a start or Maxi some minutes, and whether he'll give Isak any minutes. Unlikely, I think, because it was only, if it was a week between fixtures, he might give him some more minutes, but because it was only a couple of days ago, probably not. So I think it's the same 11 as Billy. And the only place up for contention is whether Maxi plays or not. That's what I think.
Well, I'm going Nick Pope, Trippier, Botman, Cher, Dan Byrne, midfield, Bruno, Willock, Joe Linton, left, Maxi, right, Miggy, and Callum Wilson through the middle. I think Isak will be on the bench and he will come on in the second half. I don't think he'll start the game though. So, but I really genuinely think Maxi will start the game. I have one of those sneaky suspicions, guys. You know, I had a sneaky suspicion last Thursday about what side was going to be played against Sheffield Wednesday when I said Dubravka and what's his face would start, and I was proved right.
It's a good game for him. Leicester are going to be knackered. Perfect game for Maxi.
Yeah, well, Chris is probably a big plea from not just him, but Leicester City fans in general. Please play Chris Woods. No, I don't think he's going to start tomorrow, Chris, unfortunately. But I can see why you Leicester fans want him to. No. Lewis says, hi, mate. Can you give my little brother, John Oliver, a happy 6th birthday? He loves your channel. He thinks it's a 2-1 defeat tomorrow. Well, I would have if he didn't think we were going to lose tomorrow. But no, seriously, happy birthday, John. I hope you have had a lovely, lovely day. And we're going to win tomorrow, mate. But happy birthday. Rachel says, my dad used to sell houses to a lot of the players, including Jackie Milburn and Malcolm MacDonald. So he used to know a lot of them quite well. Interesting. Foxy says, think Miggy scores a brace tomorrow. Joe Linton, Bruno Wilson, and Willock 6-0. No, I'd be happy with that. But
if you take a step back, I know we're nervous. We're talking with our hearts, but if you take a step back, we should be able to play a stronger team than we did last time we played them. And I think they're even weaker than they were when we played them before. So if you factor those two things in and we get the rub of the green, there's no reason why this can't be an absolute destruction of a game.
Yeah, Chesri is trying to rub it in with Chris, really. Chris, no all caps, please. Thank you. Oh, dear. Julie says, hang on, Paul. What if the camel licks your face? It won't lick me face. That only happens with giraffes, Julie. So, and plus, I've never known gold camel statues lick anybody, to be honest. But whatever. Sorry, Paul. Good evening to Doug from the Dugout channel. Hope you're well, buddy. Ulfa says it will be a tough game tomorrow. I think we can win, but I think it will be narrowly. Can easily see this going to extra time. There's no extra time, mate. It just goes straight to penalties. But look, I think, Leicester, I think, will be fatigued. I don't think there's any doubt about that. They've got a hell of an injury crisis there, which plays into our hands a little bit, because we didn't play a full side for the full 90 minutes on Saturday night. So I can see it being tough for Leicester if we start well. If we start well and we shut them down quickly, and you know what it's like, guys. It's sometimes if we have a lot of the ball and Leicester are chasing us tomorrow, it will run Leicester down very, very quickly, especially, if players are having to play through the fatigue barrier, etc. It's going to be tough for them.
And it is at our ground as well this time. So
yeah,
it makes a big, big difference. We are a lot more difficult to play against at home, considerably.
Absolutely. Connor says, hopefully an early 18th birthday present tomorrow. His birthday is Saturday. Well, happy birthday, Connor. Hope you have a very good one. Chris says, do you guys remember how you used to feel facing us a few seasons ago under Ashley and Bruce? That's how I'm feeling about tomorrow. Oh, bloody hell. Well, he's feeling pretty shit then, to be honest, because we went through 15 years of feeling like that. There you go. Jason says he's going to wear his new shirt for tomorrow because obviously Jason received his shirt. Well, the second shirt I sent him in the competitions. Richard says, hey, guys, do you know if there has been a press conference for the game? Yes, I believe it should be on Newcastle's YouTube channel. You can go and watch it there.
I'll just check and see if it's up.
One up the arse.
One up the arse.
Oh, dear.
There you go. So there you go. Who scored, Billy?
I think it's El Neni.
El Neni. Bloody hell's fire. Anyway, yeah, it is El Neni. Right, let's have some score predictions, shall we, before we finish? Alex, I'll go with you first. Score and scorers.
I'm going to go with 3-0. And I'm going to go with a double for Miggy. And it's becoming quite a theme. And I'm really frustrated it's not happened. So I'm just going to keep going. Botman I want him to score now. He's been so close, so many times.
You're a jinx. You're fucking scoring.
He goes Botman every week, isn't he? I mean,
he keeps crossbar hitting the post with his head.
I tell you what,
his shot was brilliant the other day. Oh.
Yeah, I do wish he'd scored that belting shot on Saturday, because I mean that was genuinely really close.
He legitimately could be on 4 or 5 goals so far.
Yeah,
and he's on none.
Could.
Or Burn. I would be happy if Burn, because neither of them have scored yet. So either Burn or Botman, and then a Mickey double.
Yeah,
3-0.
Geordie boys going 4-0 with Wilson hat-trick and Maxi. Solly goes 5-0 with Miggy, Maxi, Wilson 2 and Isak to get on the score sheet. Geordie Howeman says 2-0 both in the second half. Julie J says 2-0. Jim really wants Botman to score. So does Jan. I Like Coffee wants Joe Linton and Botman to score. Botman will have 0 goals end of the season, and it will be all Stato's fault. To be fair, he's been close a few times lately. Yes. Mary says it's a birthday in my clan tomorrow as well. Well, happy birthday to whoever that is in your clan. Robert says 2-0. Doug says, I've seen our game in February is a 5:30 p.m. kickoff against Liverpool. Yes, it's going to be quite a raucous Saturday night, that, Doug, because, I don't think Klopp's going to get a very good reception from the Toon fans. I certainly know that.
We absolutely batter you.
Yes.
Anfield game was a joke.
Yes.
Sorry.
Doug actually did admit that. He did actually stick up for us after that game. I remember that well. What's gone wrong with your team? Oh, God. Don't open a can of worms, whatever you do. Tom's going 3-0. Miggy, Joe Linton, Isak. Alan says 5-0. Clarky 2-1. John says 5-0. Somebody called Muggy.
Wait a minute. He said 2-1, but he said Botman hat-trick.
Yeah. I presume he means an own goal, Alex.
Oh, God. Hopefully not.
Ronald's going 3 now to the Toon. Wilson with 2 and Bruno. Isak a hat-trick, says Andrew. 3-0 Toon victory, says Mary. Connor says 2-1. If we play it safe, 1-0. If we go for it, 5-0, says Dan. John W's going 5-1. 3-1. We need to bounce back. Jan's going 5-0. Chris says he hasn't got time before he dies to explain what's going on with Leicester City. Wow. Happy to jump on the preview, lads, if you need me. Yeah, we'll get you on, Doug. No problem at all. Our regular Liverpool correspondent. 4-0, says Ches. 1 own goal by the budget Colaccini. He means feces, Alex. 2-1, says Tony. Jules says Alex absolutely isn't bothered by the Liverpool result. No, sir, not at all. Honest.
We've been through this before on the channel. You don't like Everton, and I just really don't like Liverpool at all.
That's fair enough.
Awful team.
Caleb says a shout out to all the Throckley boys. Cushy says 4-0 Toon. Jans is going for a 5-zone goal hat-trick. Congo Fox says 9-0. That's optimistic, especially with the goal scorers you've put there, my son. David says just win the game. I don't care about the score. Yeah, just win the game, play well, and get a few goals. That's what I'm basically wanting. Congo Fox has changed it to 10-0 because he forgot to Efisi's own goal. Randall says let's not eat the pie before it's been baked. Absolutely. But listen, as a lot of people alluded to throughout the season, we haven't had a chance like this to, remember 2 years ago when Newcastle used to play and it was always, we'll be lucky to only lose 3-0. We'll be lucky to get away with a 4-0 defeat. There's nothing wrong with positivity. And if we lose, well, we lose. But there's nothing wrong with positivity. Jim says, I'm with you, Alex. I hate Liverpool. If anyone is at the game tomorrow, take a scarf in support of War Flags. They've been superb with their displays for a while now, and it adds to the atmosphere. Indeed, it does. Mark says Feces is actually out injured tomorrow. I haven't heard that, but if he is, then...
I don't know if that helps or hurts us, to be honest.
Feces will be out first thing in the morning, that's for certain.
He's got the shits. Wow. We talk about other people's Christmas cracker jokes. Wow. Lewis says, just a quick question. What's the bloke's second name on the bottom? I'm sure he's my friend's brother, Lewis Dobson. Billy's turned into a doppelganger since he had a shave.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
Sorry to disappoint or Maybe the opposite.
Oh dear. Anyway, Billy, score.
I think it'll be 4-0 to Newcastle.
4-0. Wow.
I just think the crowd are going to be well up for it. I think the players will respond to it. I think Leicester will be like rabbits on the headlights, not in form, lots of injuries, fitness doubts as well with the fatigue. I just think it's a perfect storm for us. So I think 4, and that might even be being conservative. But 4-0, just as a conservative guess. And I think Wilson will score 2. I think Willock will score, and I think that's. I'm going to say Botman's going to score, just to find double
He's
jeopardise.
definitely not going to score now, is he?
Just double jeopardise.
100% no. Apparently, it's 2-0 to Arsenal, Billy.
It's totally Arsenal.
Yeah. Oh well, there you go. Ethan's going 3-0. So yeah, it seems like a lot of confidence. I'm going 3-0 as well. I think Leicester will be very. I'm hoping Leicester will be very fatigued, and I think if we can get at them and play our game very early on and tire them out, let them chase the ball around, it'll work in our favour. Leicester do have some dangerous players on the pitch. There is no doubt about that. If Vardy plays, we know what he can do. Tielemans, we've seen him score some wonder goals. Harvey Barnes, they have some talent in that side that can hurt you. So we do still have to be switched on and concentrating and make sure that we don't slip up. But I think the injuries will be too much for Leicester tomorrow. But we'll see. I'm hoping of a 3-0 win. And I think that Callum Wilson will bag a couple of goals tomorrow. And I think Botman will score. Yeah.
Might work. Might be just the encouragement he needs. He might be watching.
Well, the fact that all three of us have gone for Botman to score this time instead of just Alex. So, we do have a chance. We do have a chance. But there you go, guys. That is the show for tonight. Thank you so much. Over 800 watching again. Thank you so much for joining us on this Monday night. It's been fantastic, the 2 shows over the course of the day. So thank you so much for joining us. It really does mean a lot. Please do hit the like button before you leave the show. And if you're new to the channel, like what you see, hit that subscribe button, which is free to do so. Come and be part of this amazing community that we have on the Toon Review. And, of course, the bell, which will let you know when we go live, upload, or schedule in a show so you don't miss them. Hit the join button, become a member if you wish. All the members are immediately entered into the draw for various prizes, shirts, mugs, or whatever we have. Don't forget to follow us on our socials as well. Thank you to everybody that's become a member and super chatted tonight. Really, really kind. A big shout out to the mod squad again. Thank you very, very much for all the hard work today. And of course to Alex and Billy for their company this evening. Billy will be back tomorrow night with the watch along. I will do a video tomorrow if there's any news. I will bring you out a video. They are coming thick and fast now, just on any latest news with the club. And of course, I will do my immediate reaction from the ground tomorrow night after the game. And I will upload that as soon as I can once I get back in the car. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Hopefully, when we do the review of the game on Wednesday, we will be celebrating being into the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. Howe, the bloody lads. Thank you, guys. Have a fantastic Tuesday, and we'll see you very soon. Good night, everybody.
Howe, the lads and lasses.